guys, it's Rebekah. I just wanted to jump on today and give you guys a little bit of an update about how the first quarter of 5th grade has been going. We've had a lot of travel going on and things like that, so I haven't really had a lot of time to do a full sit down and talk with you guys video, so I thought I would chat and see how everyone's doing. First of all, let me say that this is our 4th year of homeschool, and while I know we in no way, shape, or form have it all figured out, and every year is going to be way different, I feel like this is the first year that we've kind of hit a good stride, and I feel like we kind of at least have a little bit of a clue of what we're doing. With that being said, we did already have to scrap something that I had planned out, but I will get to that in just a minute. So we started the school year off strong with the Botany Unit from Gather Round. Now, this was the first unit study that we had done with Gather Round, and I have to tell you, we loved it. Sadie couldn't wait for school every day. I couldn't wait for school every day. She wanted to learn more about this. She was reading books on her own. She was doing things on her own to supplement because she just loved plants so much. So I told her, you can get the student guides in each grade level, grade appropriate. So I'm going to hang on to this teacher's guide because we may do it later in high school or something for part of her science credit. So along with that, we were trying to start the United States Song Study Collection by Where'd You Learn That? And I have to tell you, it was an awesome curriculum. It was very interesting, but for some reason, it just wasn't working for us. It was like, I think because it was so in-depth with botany and Sadie was so interested in that, I just couldn't ever get her excited about the song study. So I think what I'm going to do is just hang on to that and see if maybe later I can kind of work it in, maybe over the summer with the patriotic holidays or sometime like that. But we just couldn't get into it, and I really don't have a good reason for why. But so after about 3 lessons that felt like pushing water uphill, we just scrapped it for now, and we'll cycle back to it later. Then we've been doing, in addition to the unit studies, she's been working through this workbook, Success with Writing. We're about halfway through with that, which is just helping her with her writing a little bit. I think I've shared in previous videos that she had a lot of anxiety when it came to math from her time in public school. I guess the teacher that she had kind of would pick kids out and basically make fun of them in front of the class if they didn't know the answer. So she's always been anxious about math. And we've tried, I think, 3 different math curriculums now. And it's just always been hard. So I said, you know what? We're going to go back and make it super basic, do 1 workbook page a day, and see how that works for the school year. So I started way back, kind of remediated with level 3 of this math basics workbook. And let me tell you, every day we've worked through a page in the math book. She feels like she's finally getting it. She's happy. She has no problem doing math. And we're almost finished with level 3 in just a quarter. So that means we can start level 4 and probably even level 5 during the school year. So technically by the end of her 5th grade year, we'll be right where we should be math-wise. So that's great. We've also been working on punctuation and capitalization with this workbook. And same thing as the writing. We're about, well, I guess with this one, let's see. We're on page 12. So we're about a third of the way through. So we're just kind of adding that a little bit here and there when our unit study is a little bit light. And that's been going really well also. She's starting to kind of lock in a little bit better with the capitalization rules. Because she'll be like, so if it's the name of a teacher, it's a proper noun, then I capitalize it, so it's starting to lock in. Now, in terms of read alouds with the Botany Unit, we tried to do Where the Red Fern Grows, and that just didn't really grab her that well. So we ended up doing a lot of reading different informational picture books about plants and stuck with that, and it worked really well. Then, when we were finished with our Botany Unit, we jumped into the All Things Spooky Unit by Barefoot Within the Trees. And this has been so much fun. We've learned some of the history of jack-o'-lanterns and how they come from Ireland. We've learned about the history of Frankenstein's monster. We've got to make a pumpkin terrarium, which I'm going to do a separate video about. Just a lot of really fun things to kind of make the spooky season even more fun. And with that, one of the recommended reads was this book, Monstrous. It gives some of the history and science behind some of the monsters that we all know and quote-unquote love. So we're part way through that. I got it from the library, and that's really good. For read alouds, it was recommended to read The Halloween Tree. So we've been doing that. And we're about 3/4 of the way through, and we're loving that. It's really good. And then, in addition to our read aloud, Sadie really wanted to do kind of like an informal book club between her and I. So we picked up The Witches. And so what's been happening is she's been reading a couple chapters of this before bed. And then when I wake up in the morning, because I normally wake up earlier than her, I'll read it, and then we'll discuss it. So we are about 2/3 of the way through on that. So by early November, we should be finished with that as well. And then we're going to just have about a week or so where it's kind of a little bit lighter, and we're just going to do our workbooks. And then we're going to jump into the Thanksgiving unit from Gather Round. So I'm really looking forward to that since we enjoyed the Botany one so much. And then after that, we're going to do a mini study at the end of November on the Grinch. We're going to watch the 3 different Grinch movies and compare and contrast them. So overall, I just feel so optimistic about this year. You know, a lot of the previous years, while I've loved it, every minute of our homeschool journey, I've, kind of worried, is she learning enough? Is she learning too much? Am I making her do too much writing? Am I making her do too much reading? And, it just feels like we're doing really well this quarter. So here's hoping. Keep your fingers crossed and say prayers that it keeps going as smoothly as it has been. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. I love to hear from you guys. And I will see you in the next video. Have a happy Halloween. Bye!